So we're outside the Patek Philippe booth at Watches and Wonders 2026, and I want to show you guys some of the most talked about releases from Patek Philippe this year. So let's go take a look. So starting off with probably one of the most controversial pieces and most talked about is the new Cubitus, the 5840 perpetual calendar in skeleton. Now, in my opinion, it's not the best release from Patek. I think they did a little bit too much. Either I would say they would have stuck to only doing the perpetual dial or just a skeleton. However, if you move over to the 7047, the minute repeater. Now, this is a piece that I really appreciate, not only because it's a minute repeater, the color combinations between blue and orange are absolutely beautiful, and it's not a traditional minute repeater which involves a complicated movement, a complicated dial that makes it stand out. They've done it classic, more as a daily piece, and something that a lot of people can wear as a daily watch, even though it's a minute repeater. And now moving over to the Celestial. So this is the 6105 Celestial in white gold. Now, if you take a look at this one compared to the previous Celestial, you can see that they've done a major upgrade in terms of the general look and probably the audience that they want to target with these pieces. The previous one was more classy, features a leather strap, it came in platinum and came in rose gold, but if you take a look at this one, they made it in white gold this time, and probably the most significant difference that we can visibly see is the strap. So they made it into a rubber strap that looks way more aggressive, way more sporty, and will probably target the younger generation with a more complex movement from Patek. And now over to the 5204, the split-second chronograph perpetual calendar. I think this is a lovely piece. It's a 40 mm, it will sit perfectly on the wrist. It's a balance between a sporty and a classy watch, so I think this one will be highly appreciated now in the secondary market. And also you have the new releases of the 5270p. Now, these were already around in the market, however you probably see them with the gem-set bezels such as the sapphire and the ruby. However, now they've re-released it without the rubies and the sapphires. Now over to the hot topic of Patek's release. This is the 50th year anniversary of the Nautilus, and these are the pieces that have been released. So you have the white gold 5810 Nautilus 50th anniversary, which features both on the leather strap and on the full bracelet. Now, in my opinion, I'll probably say it's very underwhelming in compared to what we were expecting from Patek to release for 50th anniversary. You have the classic blue dial with the baguette indexes, and the most underwhelming thing is that they put the 50th anniversary on the rotor, which we've seen from another brand such as AP, where they put their 50th anniversary on the rotor. Probably expecting a bit more, certain more dials, probably a different release of a new movement, a new addition to the Nautilus collection. So in general, I'll probably say an underwhelming release, but I think it will still do well because in the end, it is a Nautilus. And now last but not least, you got one of other Patek's novelties. Now, they've made this model in a desk clock. This is also for the 50th year anniversary. However, in my opinion, even though it's a gorgeous looking desk clock, this is probably something that Patek might have considered to do as a release for the 50th anniversary, but instead of a clock being a wristwatch. Now, it's a beautiful dial. You have a different movement, a different model of the Nautilus in general. So they must have considered probably putting this one into the anniversary, but they didn't this year. But hopefully this is something that we can see in the future. So that's it from the new releases from Patek Philippe at Watches and Wonders 2026. In general, obviously the focal point was on the 50th year anniversary of the Nautilus. However, in my opinion, it was a bit underwhelming, which kind of took away from the other releases that were released by Patek. I think they could have done better, but obviously not entirely disappointed with Patek this year.